Smyrna, which is now called Izmar, is one of the most beautifully situated cities in Asia Minor. The Church of Smyrna served as an example of the extreme persecution that would ravage the Christian church. You can understand the message to Smyrna in Revelation in this 5-minute video Bible study. As we continue our study into the 7 churches of Revelation, John writes to the elder of Smyrna. The first church, Ephesus, was a strong church, but not without its struggles. Smyrna is no different. In Revelation chapter 2, verse 9, John writes the words from Jesus, which read, "I know your works, tribulation and poverty, but you are rich, and I know the blasphemy of those who say they are Jews and are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan." To say they are Jews and are not is likely a reference to Jews in the figurative sense, in that Christians now are sometimes described as Israel or spiritual Jews, as we see in Romans chapter 2, verse 29, for example, which reads, "But he is a Jew who is one inwardly, and circumcision is that of the heart, in the spirit, not in the letter." In essence, in Revelation, Jesus uses the term to refer to those who claim to serve God but actually serve Satan. Today we would call them hypocrites. These people are said to be a synagogue of Satan. The word Satan means accuser or adversary. As a center of Jewish communal life, the Jewish synagogue no doubt was the place where many evil plots were formed for the persecution against the Christians. The Jewish centers literally became synagogues of the accuser. I like the first 3 words of Jesus in Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. "Do not fear any of those things which you are about to suffer." Jesus knows that his people will suffer. In fact, he warned them ahead of time so they wouldn't be surprised. But he promises to be there with them, encourage them, and to strengthen them. Verse 10 continues saying, "Indeed, the devil is about to throw some of you into prison, that you may be tested, and you will have tribulation 10 days. Be faithful unto death, and I will give you the crown of life." Remember, the churches in Revelation were not only literal churches, but may also symbolize the Christian church throughout history. The Church of Smyrna seems to symbolize the church from the year about 100 AD, around the death of John, until the year 313 AD, when Constantine issued his edict of toleration for Christianity. One interpretation of the 10 days refers to the extreme persecution launched against the Christian church between the years of 303 AD and 313 AD. For 2 centuries prior to this, there were attempts to systematically break down and annihilate the Christian church with the bitter attacks at the hands of the Romans, Decius and Valerian. In the year 303, Diocletian and his associate and successor Galerius conducted the most bitter campaign of annihilation Christianity ever suffered at the pagan Roman hands. These leaders believed that the church had grown into such dimensions of strength and popularity that unless Christianity were promptly stamped out, the traditional Roman way of life would cease to exist and the empire itself would disintegrate. The Romans, therefore, inaugurated a policy designed to exterminate the church. Diocletian's first decree against the Christians was issued in the year 303 AD, which banned the practice of Christianity throughout the empire. Christians were slaughtered by the most horrific means. This persecution came to an end in the year 313 AD, when Constantine the Great issued his famous Edict of Milan, which permitted Christians full liberty to practice their religion. Revelation chapter 2, verse 10 says, Jesus will give those persecuted a crown of life. This is a crown of victory. Though many have lost their lives for Christ's sake, and others have been disowned, disfigured, and abandoned by loved ones, they will receive a reward because they have not faltered in their faith of the one who died for them. Revelation chapter 2, verse 11 says, "He that overcomes shall not be hurt by the second death." God's promise rings true. Though the devil may take your life on earth, you can inherit eternal life in heaven. Whatever trials or tribulations you're facing, right now you can be an overcomer because with God, all things are possible. Please share what you're learning on social media. Visit and like us on Facebook. Visit and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and visit and subscribe to our website at brandonseniorseminars.com. Thank you, and God bless.